Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tea Time with Nina Motivates. I'm having my Nina Boo tea this morning. You could be watching this afternoon or evening, wherever and whenever you're watching it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. So while I have my morning tea, I thought I would come on and talk to you all about bullying. So, for those of you who has watched my various Instagram TV shows and IGTV shows, or have followed me on Facebook and seen my different videos, or seen my pictures or anything, or just know me personally, I was born with a physical difference. And that condition is called club hands. I was born with club hands, and what that means is my thumbs didn't develop properly. I had no bones in my thumbs, so the doctors had to cut off my thumbs and move all my fingers up in one place. Also, I have curvature in my arms, and my arms are short, so they're not properly developed. So this is my elbow, whereas this is right here. And from my elbow to my hand is right here. Like, it's just that short, and it's curvature and all that awesome stuff for me. It's awesome for me. I don't know. And there's movement limitations and different things. So because of this difference, there's some different things I had to deal with. Before I go any further, you can find out more about my condition and just how it is to raise an infant in the beginning stages when you find out that you've had a child, or just anybody that has a child with a difference, or know anyone who has a child with a difference, or you just want to read about it a little more, hear my parents' experience, you could go to www.ninamotivates.info and download your free copy of Raising Unique. It is a brief book that kind of talks about, that shocking experience of having a child with a difference. And there are some affirmations that everybody could use, that you could speak over your child's life, or that you can have on your own, speak to your own self as well. I'm telling you, we all can use it. Let's keep going forward. So now, because of my difference, I did deal with different things. I had dealt with bullying not only in my childhood, believe it or not, I dealt with it some in my 20s. That'll be a whole nother live, a whole nother video. But let's talk about dealing with it as a youth, as a child. So I remember first being bullied in second grade. And I remember kind of being picked on. And it didn't bother me as much because I transferred. We moved quite a bit when I was younger. And so I would always transfer schools. But every time I transferred to a new school, it was a new group of kids to bully me, right? And so I remember second grade, I remember being afraid of the young lady because she was kind of like taller than me, bigger than me, and I wasn't a fighter. And so that didn't last long because I transferred. One of my worst case scenarios being bullied was fourth and fifth grade. And this young lady, I was kind of being bullied by a young lady consistently, and to the point whereas she would get behind me in the line at school and push me. She would follow me to the bathroom, so I hated going to the bathroom. She would talk about me. She would throw stuff at me. It was horrible. Now, I've also, I had a young man that would always call me Four Finger Nina. So it was different cruel things like that I kind of dealt with, the bullying verbally and physically. And so at first I wouldn't say anything. A lot of kids that are being bullied, oftentimes they're quiet. They don't go home and they don't say anything to their parents. Me, I didn't say anything to my mom or dad. I didn't tell them what was going on. I really didn't tell anybody. My sister don't remember, but one day I mentioned to her, like, I'm sick of this girl always picking on me. And I believe this time I was in sixth grade. And so I was like fed up. I was ready for it to end. And it was the same girl every single year. And she's ended up in my class every single year. But I never said anything. So to all children, please say something if someone is bullying you. Do not be quiet. Say something. You matter. Your life matter. You are perfectly created by God. And you do not have to be bullied. You do not have to stand for someone bullying you. You matter. Okay? And so I wish I did say something sooner. And so time for a sip of tea. I got emotional for a second. And so in all of that, I started taking my childhood best friend. Her name is Riola. Shout out to you, Riola. Her birthday is this weekend. Woo! Okay, refocus. Had to break up the emotions. She and I were working at this place called Majestic Eagle Elvin Inglewood in Chicago. And at Majestic Eagle, we was under this guy who knew martial arts. So he was teaching us martial arts, teaching us different things and stuff like that. And so me mentally, I'm saying I'm preparing to whoop her butt. You know, I'm not going to keep being bullied. But at this time, remember, nobody really knew about it. I was just dealing with it on my own. Of course, my classmates knew about it, but I didn't even tell teachers or anything. And so what ended up happening was I said something to my sister, and she was like, I was like, I'm sick of, I finally mentioned, like, I'm sick of being bullied. And she was like, no, I ain't say bullied. I said, I'm sick of people saying stuff and different things like that. And she was like, well, everybody has something different about them, baby. Some people are just more, difference is more visible than others. She does not remember saying that to me. But I was like, 10, 11 years old, and that has stuck with me my entire life, and it changed my life. I don't know, maybe I dreamed it, but I remember those words. Everyone has something different about them. Some people difference is just more visible than others. That statement changed my life. From that statement, I went and I started noticing the difference that other people had that was picking on me. Sometimes you can visibly see the difference. Sometimes you cannot. Sometimes it's things going on in the home. Sometimes it's things going on in their mind. Sometimes it's just their appearance and they just want to, they want to get it off of themselves, so they put it on you. So you have to be very mindful and careful and look at those different things that people do to try to make you feel lower, because oftentimes they don't feel good about themselves. And so we hear the saying all the time, hurt people, and that's so real. And so one day I went to school and I said something to the young man who was calling me Four Finger Nina. That ceased. I'm not going to say what I said to him, but that's for a comedy show. And then with her, I finally stood up for myself. I do not condone violence. I do not. But I realized nothing I was saying to her was working. I should have talked to parents. I should have talked to the school officials, but I did not. And so what I ended up doing was I thought about my martial arts class, and we had a substitute teacher one day. And she got behind me. I remember this day like it was yesterday. And she pushed me, and I went, and I swung and swung. And so she wasn't expecting me to fight back. And so she got shocked, and I was like, come on, I'm sick of you. It had been going on for 3 years. By that time, it was like, no more. I had started to love myself more, know who I was. I began a relationship with God. So at this point, it was like, no more. You're not going to keep bullying me. God created me this way, and he didn't make a mistake. And so I had to put these things in my head. But if you're not strong-willed or have a strong mind, it can affect you differently. There are kids who have committed suicide because of being bullied, and that's not what we want. We don't want that. We have to find a way to counteract that, to interfere, to help them. That's why I said, please speak up if someone is bullying you. And I also say, if you see bullying, say something, because it's so important for people's lives to be saved than someone thinking they're just bullying them and that it's okay, and then they take their lives, or something bad happens, or they take someone else's life. So please say something. So needless to say, I almost got suspended, but I was like, she's been bullying me for 3 years, and it finally all came out and things like that, and that kind of stopped the bullying. But yeah, it was a traumatic experience that a lot of kids deal with today. And today is on a whole nother level with cyberbullying and everything else. So I hope something was said to motivate you all to say something. Really, I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this video next week. So look for it. But no matter what, say something. Do not sit and be bullied. Do not sit and watch someone being bullied. It can be a hurtful thing, a hurtful experience, and nobody deserves to go through that. I am Nina Motivates, and I hope something was said to motivate you all. I just wanted to share my story, my experience, and hopefully someone can know they're not alone, and they can share this video out with everyone they know so that someone's heart and mind can be touched. You can find out more about me at www.ninamotivates.info. I love you all, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.